All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to be out here working on this whole Pontiac again. Keep picking away at these things and we'll eventually get it done. You know, time consuming some of it, but we'll keep on trucking. So a viewer from last week commented, and I appreciate that for sure. Anyways, they recommended that because I got the battery in the old trunk there, which because I have to, and that's not uncommon for sure. But they commented that I should vent it to the atmosphere to keep any, because this car doesn't have a totally separate trunk. The way it is, the seat is kind of the barrier. So they commented to keep any kind of fumes and stuff out of the car, that I should vent the battery box to the atmosphere out of the trunk, which is a great idea, and I'll definitely do that. So what I'm going to start with today is front end. So now this S10 frame, something is a little weird with the springs. So I had the springs out when I was mocking the frame up and everything. So then, and if you guys followed, you know I got 2-inch drop spindles to kind of get the height I want, and it's going to work out real well. But with these springs in, now this car has to be a smidge heavier than an S10, I would think. Maybe not the car itself, but I mean, I got a V8 and stuff now, right? So, but anyways, the springs seem excessively stiff. So I don't know, like I said, I'm not sure where this frame came from, and on and on and on. But it's no big deal. But just to, they don't seem too stiff. They just seem like they're holding the car almost to its maxed out height. So I guess that's too stiff, too tall, whatever. Plan is, I've been putting it off for a bit, but today's the day. I'm gonna yank that coil out again, just to show you, to get the height I wanted, or where it sits nice in the middle of its travel kind and everything. Is I got something holding it down. I'll show you guys that. But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna pull them out, start by cutting one coil out, stick them back in and see where we're sitting, and so on. But first things first, we'll get these tires off and get this baby down and get the coil out. With these shiny lug nuts, they're chrome plated or whatever. I learned this the hard way, or well, whatever you want to call it, but I don't use the impact to rattle them loose. I use them to spin it off. I crack them loose with a wrench or something, and then the impact to spin them off. I found that if you use the impact, then the hammering of the socket, anyways, it chips them up and stuff. So these tires have been on and off 100 times. So, you know, you just be gentle with them, and that way you don't chew your lug nuts up. I've done that, like I said, in the past, and I won't do that anymore for that fancy stuff. So, but anyways, here's what I got going on. So you can see, I went ahead and stuck where the shock goes, I got myself a ready rod that goes right through to the bottom on both sides to suck that suspension up to where I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and let them go and get them out of there, and then we'll pop a coil out, and we'll trim it. Like I said, I'm going to start with one coil, and I'll show you guys that, and then we'll do, you know, we'll match it, and then we'll set it down, see how it looks, and if we need a little more, we'll do a little more. All right, so you can see here, I got these babies out, knocked them out of there quick, both sides, and you can see I got the spring here. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off one coil. So I'm just going to go directly across, nip it off there. I'm going to do that to both of them, and then I'll set them in. I'll see how it looks if I try just one. Might have to put both together to get an idea of what the height. But anyways, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But first things first, I'm going to cut this one. Now the thing is, you should always use, because these are tempered and whatever, you know. So you should always use a zip disc, that you don't create too much heat in it. I've heard guys in the past, like the old school drop kit, because you take the torch and you don't take them out of the car. You leave them in the car, you torch the one, you know, the coil until it gets hot enough and it starts to collapse. That's not the right way. This way really hurts nothing. We'll get the old zip disc there, and we'll cut one on each thing, and we'll throw them back in, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so there we got one coil cut out, and I'll just lay that down. Essentially, that's what we've got missing now. So that'll, you know, I cut into the lower one. That's what took a little bit, but just so I could cut it at a nice, at a nice angle to match. You can see the angles kind of match, right? So anyways, that, I don't know what that'll give me. That'll probably give me about an inch or so. It's not going to be quite, it's just guessing here, but it's not going to be quite, it's not going to be the 2 1/4 inches that is, because that would compress a bit, right? So we'll chop that other one quick, and then we'll throw them back in, see what we got. Okay, I'm throwing these springs back in, and I thought maybe I better show you guys how I do this, just in case you're interested. But obviously now the spring's a little shorter, a little easier to get in the pockets. But so I got that one done. But this one here, just showing you guys. So I tuck it up there. I got to get my flashlight so I can see good. The sun's right in my eyes. Tuck it in roughly where it's going to be. I just threw a socket to hold this up out of the way a bit, and then I got my lift or my stand here. And then I just lower the car down onto that, and it pushes this arm up. You just gotta be careful you don't lift it off the thing there and stuff. But I'll show you guys, and we'll get it. All right, that's really all there is. All I was doing there was kind of making sure the spring was in the pockets and stuff. So now I can go down and just watch that I don't lift it. Keep going, give it the, there. Started to lift a bit, so that means all the weight's kind of on here now. So push, oh my, get that little fella out of there. And I should be able to clack that down onto there. And then what I'll do is I'll just get it down on there and start the nut, suck it down a bit, and then we can put the wheels on and lower it down. See what happens. All right, everyone, I went ahead and threw the tires on, got it down, and I think it's about perfect. It's about where I set it, like just feeling to the fenders, to the top of the fenders inside. And now we got this kind of action. We never had that before. This is going to be good. It's I do have to put the sway bar in and stuff, but this is going to be good. It's going to kind of be super low cars. They got to kind of be stiff. I think inherently makes them a little rough, but they got to be stiff because you don't want that junk bottoming out and stuff, right? So, anyways, I got movement now. Got a little spring action, so I think we're in good shape. That wasn't too bad. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to lift it up again, and I'm going to go ahead and button up the suspension stuff, like the tie rods. I'm going to and the ball joints and stuff. I'm going to make sure those are as tight as I want them, and throw the cotter pins in and stuff, and get that all tidied up, and then we're done there. I'll maybe go grab that sway bar. It does need to be cleaned up and painted, but I might do that quick, and maybe we'll throw that in too. And then this front end is done, the suspension wise. Far from done, but the suspension be done. So. All right, everyone, I got that front end all buttoned up, so it's all ready to rock. The only thing I'm missing now is shocks. They should be in here soon. Throw some shocks in there and throw the sway bar on. I got the sway bar. I'll clean it up and give it a little paint, just so it looks nicer. So I've been tidying up some things. Just finishing up things, kind of just. Anyways, I get carried away doing that. Oh, and then that includes. The other thing I did here too is I built this little bracket here. I don't want to plug it in yet to capture that second e-brake cable, and then I got to make the mechanism to get to the thing. But I'll paint that first. I'll paint it all up nice first, and then should be able to just click that in there, and that'll be done. So there's that. But yeah, anyways, that took up my evening pretty much. I'll probably just a couple more little things I'll tidy up here, and then I'll be back out here after work tomorrow. So we'll see you guys then. Hey everyone, welcome back. We're back here out on the shop again. Oh, I had some parts show up too. I'll show you guys that first. So we got some battery cable, enough junk to get to the front there. We got us some weather stripping. Pretty nice stuff there, I think. I'll show you guys here. It is 3M and stuff, but I'm probably going to glue that stuff on. A little bit of weather stripping. Well, a lot of weather stripping. Need a lot of weather stripping for this car. What else we get? We got the shocks. I did throw them on last night. Stuff came in last night. So I went ahead and threw them on. We got us some kill mat. This was off of Amazon. That's the sound deadener. Oh, and then I also had a viewer. I got a gift. 380 Motorsports got a gift. Pretty sweet. I'll show you guys here. So yeah, so I think what happened is, I think they got tired of watching me weld without a helmet. So I got this kick butt. Oops, I dropped the tag. Got this kick butt helmet here. I'm really going to use the heck out of this baby, and I got no excuses to be welding without a helmet now. But anyway, so yeah, I really appreciate that. That's awesome. And it did come with some extra glass and stuff. So again, very thankful for that. That's awesome. It's going to work good. I think it is a very good helmet. So that baby is going to work. That's going to work awesome. So yeah, again, appreciate that. Yeah, and then what I'm going to do too is I'll show you guys. I'll lift this car up, and I got that sway bar in too. We'll take a quick look. So that with the sway bar and the shocks, that front end is together now. So and then so what else I did too last night is I went around and started bolting all the fenders up permanent, and the reason for that is I'll show you guys. I grabbed some of this rod here. This is just 3/8 rod. So what I got to do is the fenders, you can see, this one's still a little wiggly, but these cars all had struts, little braces to the frame to hold the fenders where they need to be, front and back. Otherwise, you can imagine this baby would just be flapping in the wind, right? So I'll make some braces with that, and we'll get them fenders tidied up. I'll get the car lift up. We'll take a look at, I'll just show you quick that sway bar. I just painted it and stuff, make it look appropriate. All right, so we got us a sway bar. So you can kind of see that fella there now. Looks good. Got a sway bar, and we got some shocks inside there. Kind of see. So like I said, that front end's all tidied up. We got everything tightened down, locked down, cotter pins and everything. So we're good. So now, like I was saying, we got us a fender here. We don't want this. You can see the big. We don't want that flapping in the wind. So that's the plan. Front and back. We have to make some struts to go back to the frame. We'll make something that looks really nice. All four corners. The back, you can see even like they used to have the. That's exactly how they did it. Those that little truck there, it's the same thing. It's got them as well. But yeah, so that's what we got to do. We'll use that rod, and we'll use some, make some tabs or whatever we got to do, and we'll connect them with some little stainless button head bolts, and they'll look good, and it'll work good. So okay, what you guys didn't see that I went ahead and did was I went ahead and put the wheels back on and turned them both ways to see what I was gonna like as far as you can see as far as setting this distance. So what I've decided is I'm gonna go with see guys stuck kind of just ahead of this piece of ready rod here. And that's about where it's going to sit. So I'm going to measure this hole here, that little hole there is the same on both sides. So I'm going to measure from the edge of that hole to, I struggle. You guys probably get annoyed by it. I don't know, but I try to measure, or whatever I try to do. I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever I try to do, I quit watching what I'm filming, and I watch what I'm doing, and then I realize I ain't filming what I'm doing. So I'll try better. I'll keep trying. We'll see what we can get here. But the plan is to measure from that edge of that hole, a nice uniform spot, to where the thing is going to mount. That's how I'm going to set my distance. That ain't going to be the length of the rod, because the rod's going to go to somewhere else on the frame there. But that's going to be how I'm going to measure the distance each side to get them relatively even. Now this car, the fenders are a little tweaked, they're a little whatever, we got some cracks, and that's what we wanted. Well, two reasons. We want that rat rod look. Really like that look anyways. But also too, we're building this car on the cheap. So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but body work, paint is expensive. So anyways, this is kind of the fun of this. and then we can just beat this car around and not worry about getting dings and dents and parking lots or whatever. We can just drive the car, have a blast, and it'll be great. I decided on a measurement, so now I just got to go ahead and decide where I'm going to mount the one end of my rod that I got over there, where I'm going to mount that one end to the frame. So I'll figure that out quick, and then we'll build a couple of tabs and get that mounted up. Like I said, I got a late start tonight, so we'll see if we can get at least one done, and then I can whip up the other one at my leisure. But these guys will see what I'm doing there anyways. And then we got to do the same with the back fenders. But yeah, anyways, that's that. So I got these little tabs here. So that's what I went ahead and made. Oh, they're good. I thought they were still hot. But anyways, the idea is to bolt that baby in there. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm working up here, but I'm filming down here. Sorry about that. But anyways, the idea is to bolt them babies in there, both sides. And then I can measure the rod. And I got a little chunk of rod so I can show you guys here. So the idea is that rod will sit in between there. And then we'll weld it up real nice. And it'll be plenty strong. And should look good too, if assuming we do a good job. But hey, no excuses now. I'll just show you guys the gist of this. So we got this one bolted here, and we got that one bolted there. So now I just have to measure between the notches, and that gives me my distance. I did go ahead and stick my rod back in to set it, but measure between these notches, and we'll have our distance. I'll get that measured up, cut a chunk of rod, and I'm probably just going to tack it in there and then remove it and weld it. So okay, so we got this little gaffer made. First things first, that helmet works awesome. So if you're watching, I appreciate it. That's a great gift to receive. So anyways, yeah, so that's the idea. Got that baby welded up. Now to clarify, the original ones that would have been on there would have been different lengths or whatever, but all they did was they'd take the rod, whatever they had, and then they would squish it to widen it out. I don't know if that's all the old vehicles, but ones I've seen, like all my old pickup and stuff and some other stuff, that's all they really seem to do is just mash it to widen it out, drill a hole through it, and that was that. Pretty simple. But so these are nice. They'll be nice and fat flanges there to spread the load out, and we'll be in good shape. So I'll go ahead and get these bolted in. I am going to obviously paint them up nice after and stuff too, but I'll bolt them in with the, even with the shiny hardware, so we can take a look at it, and we'll see how it really stiffens that fender up and makes it rigid. We'll show you that first, I guess. So you guys already seen the wiggliness of it, and even you can see even here when you wiggle that wiggles. It just really wiggles, right? So I'll get this baby bolted in, and then we'll try that again. All right, so I got that baby bolted in there. You can see I got the little button heads and stuff. It looks kind of nice. And then just to see here, now you can see this doesn't wiggle at all. There is zero wiggle there. In fact, it's wiggling the car. And then even you come to the front here, and that's how important those things are, because even here it's, now it's wiggling the whole thing. Very important part of the such a little piece, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Such a little piece, but that really it just goes everywhere through the car. It just really makes it stiff. So I'll keep on trucking, get that other one made and stuff, but and then that's gonna kind of be it for tonight. I'll be back out here after work tomorrow. Like I said, I got a little bit of a late start today, so it is what it is. Yeah, can't wait to get all these done, and then that'll really be. And this car is getting closer and closer and closer. We'll get it done one day, and it's gonna be tough and cool ripping around. So, anyways, see you guys tomorrow. I've been out here doing a bunch. I know I always say that, but it's true. I wouldn't lie to you guys. Anyways, yeah, because I mean, there's just so much to do that's kind of, I don't know, kind of boring. So I don't film a bunch, but just got lots to do. But I will show you what I got done. Got the other brace made there. So that, let me show you guys that. Makes that thing all rigided up nice. I'm going to continue on with the front end theme. So what this car would have had, again, I never seen them because this car was tore apart when I got it. But I promise you it had it. It had the spots for it and stuff. But and that old truck had it. these old ones with the long front ends and stuff seem to have them. So what I'm going to do is, I'll show you guys. So what they generally have is a brace going from, in this car, I believe the brace was from these holes, these mounting holes here. But they have a brace because it would have had a skinny little straight 6. So they got a brace going to the front here, help keep this from flexing up and down or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I got some more of this stuff here still. And I think what I'm going to do, so you can see here, I'll point with the stick here. Maybe you can't see. You can see that little notch right there. And then there's this one here, where this one's actually bolting the brace for the steering column and stuff. So I'm going to make, the plan is to make braces that go from there and they'll bolt to the firewall. There we go. I scratched it. Golly. I need to be more careful. Anyways, the idea is the brace will go from there down to here. And then when I bolt this on, it'll get bolted. The bracket I make here will get kind of bolted here. And the plan is to try to have maybe just a little adjustability so that I can just push and pull this front end just a little teeny bit, just a tiny bit, to help things line up. So I got to make something that fits in here that I can bolt it to the firewall. And then I got to make a bracket that goes down here that can bolt there. And that's where a little bit of adjustability will be. That's the plan. I'll get rigged up quick and then I'll show you guys. And it's really going to make that front nice and sturdy. Keep it from, kind of flexing and bouncing around. That's the way it's supposed to be. So, like I said, here we go. All right, so I know how I'm going to attach it up there, but down here, I'm basically winging it. But I do know how I want to start. So I'm going to take a piece of this heavy square stock, solid square stock. I'm going to cut it to the right length, and I checked here. It'll fit inside there after. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it to the length. I'll mark it, drill and tap. And now I got a nice solid piece. It'll act like the nuts and I can just bolt it down. And then it gives me some heavy material to weld I gotta fabricate a sort of kind of tab that comes out that rod can plug into and clamp. So anyways, I'll start with this. Like I said, I'm winging it here now. So I'm going to start with this and just get this rigged up and drilled and tapped. And then, because then it'll be in there. I can have it in there and then I'll have something to kind of go by. But I think this will work. This will work real well. I just gotta make sure I fabricate and come up with a nice plan for the adjustment there. But we'll get it. It's just it's going to take a minute. So I want this to be about that long, give or take. So we'll go make 2 of these and we'll go and drill and tap and then we'll go from there. Went ahead and drilled and tapped those holes and that baby will bolt up. I did check when the side skirt was on, and this does clear inside. The way they're bent, it seems to work. But what that does is that gives me, like I said, a nice solid piece to weld to that I can just bolt down later. So we'll get them in here. Just snug this one up, and then I gotta think about it for a minute. Decide how I want to make this tab that goes out for the rod to go into. And then after that, it's a piece of cake. And then the skirt will get pinched between that with the nice button head and stuff, and it'll look good. Okay, so I spent a little time thinking about it, and then I spent a little time on the old AutoCAD here, and that's about what I come up with. So I'm going to make some out of this metal here. I'm going to make some little tabs like that. It's heavy stuff, so I can weld them onto there, and that'll give me an eye to attach to. So I think it'll work good. And like I said, I'm using the heavy stuff there, so should be plenty strong. All right, I got my little tabs cut out. You can see the little guys there. Got 2 of them babies. I cut my rod. I did measure from the firewall down to roughly where those are going to be, because it doesn't matter. I can adjust it. So I cut the rod close to that length so that I can put it in there. So what I got to do is find out here. I'm going to weld the tabs on so that the rod is straight with it. But up here, you can see it's going to have to, once it goes through the firewall, it needs to be at a bit of an angle because it's going to tip down. And then I want it to be straight inside, so when I put the nut on, it'll, it'll pull nice and straight. So I got a plan for that. So I took this rod and I went and ground it to a point, and I got me a bolt and I did the same thing. So I'm going to get my rod in there. I'm going to figure out the angle, and basically that's why I ground it to a point so I get 100% weld. I'm going to figure out the angle, and I'm going to weld that sucker on there and weld it all up, clean it up nice. And then I'm going to put, not sure if it's going to be this washer, but I'm going to put a washer and weld it nice so that it's straight with the firewall. It'll be even with that bolt, so that this will bunt right against the firewall and that'll get welded. It'll make sense once I do it, and it'll look good. So that's the plan, but I got my rod roughly the length so I can get it in there and figure out the angle. So I think I got to do that first so I can know the angle, tack that on, and then I can get that fitting. Then I know exactly where to put the tab on the end. All right, so I got my rod. I'm going to go there, right about there. Then I got my handy angle finder. And if I do this, I'm transferring the angle. You can see, so this is what I got going on here. This was the angle, but it was off the face of the firewall. So I just put my other little square there, and I'll just transfer that angle, and I'll tack that up. All right, sorry about that if I mucked that up. I think I moved the camera and stuff, but anyways, got that welded up. Now, what I'm gonna do, got the washer here, and the washer, see if I can show you guys this. It's lava. There we go. The washer is gonna go straight with the threaded part because that's gonna be flat against the firewall, and the threaded part will be straight into the firewall. So that's the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and weld that, just tack that in, see how it looks. So basically like that, but farther back. Let me show you what it looks like after I get the washer welded on. So there you go. You can see here, I did drill this hole as well. So that goes like that, and you see how that fits nice. And this rod will get painted up and stuff, but so there you go. And I did go ahead and make 2 of them. So we're in good shape as far as that goes. Now I can figure out where I'm going to put these little tabs on the bottom, weld them, baby. I'll just tack them in, take that thing apart, weld them up, and then we got us some braces. So there we got it. This one's still lava. I got to clean it up, but yeah, we're looking pretty good. So I got some threads on the end. Clean them up better later and make them look really good. But that's the idea. Now let me show you. So this is going to get stuck into the firewall. And then this little fella is going to try and take off on me. But I'll set the camera up, see if I can show you guys. But basically, I'll try to tack that to that plate or to that big block, and we'll get this thing attached. Then I'll remove it and weld it up real good. But it's looking good. So that one's still cooling. So I'll go ahead and tack this one in. By then, that one should be good. I'll clean up a little bit, tack it in, and we'll remove them. And I'll show you kind of while they're out. And then I'll show you while they're installed and in the car. It gives me a little adjustability, like I said earlier, just to pull that nose up and down a bit or whatever I need to do. Shouldn't have to do too much, but in case I have to. Also, it's the main thing is just going to hold that all nice and rigid. Hold that front clip rigid, and should be good. Okay, I just want to show you guys what I got done here before I pack it in for the night, because it's getting late. And then I do have a little bit of time tomorrow before I got to get this videos in. But the plan tomorrow is to try and get maybe get the hood on. I do have to repair one hinge, and then I'd like to get the hood on and just sit it on and stuff. But let me show you what I got, because I'm pretty happy how they're turning out. So we got the got the old braces in there. So you can see I did go ahead and put this in. This will end up with the button tops later, make it look good. But yeah, that's it. So got both sides. And I didn't tighten them because I have to take them out. But once those are all tight, it'll really hold this front end sturdy. The other benefit too is I could probably, I don't have an air cleaner yet. And I'm hoping maybe the air cleaner will just fit right off the front. But I might have to turn it a bit. I don't know. We'll see. However that turns out. But this does give me opportunity to create a bracket or something that whatever I need to do if I have to support the snout of that air cleaner and stuff. So gives me lots of options. Yeah, we'll be in good shape. Like I said, happy how it turned out. Once they're all painted up and stuff, they'll look really good. But I think they're gonna do the trick, and I think they're gonna keep this car sturdy and straight, and it's gonna be awesome. So see you guys tomorrow. I'm back out in the garage here. I've been pecking away at stuff, but I am out of time. I did say I want to try to get this hood on, so I'm going to spend a little time here quick. I'll show you what I got to repair. So I got the hood. I kind of set up on here. I got it rigged up. There's that hinge, but you can see this hinge here. Just this little ear is broke off of here. So I just double checked it. I'll have to get this rigged up, but it seems to fit. It seems to fit back on really quite nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, tack it real good and see how it looks. See if it kind of fits nice, see how it works. And if it works good, we'll go with it. If not, I might have to do something different, but I think I should be able to weld it up and make it good again. So that's the plan, because I want to get this this hood on for this video and, kind of see the car with the hood and sitting down and stuff. And I'm happy how the progress is going. Just I wish I could spend more time on it and get it done a little quicker, or get some stuff done quicker anyways. But it's all good. We'll keep plugging away, and we'll get it. But that's the plan. Get this tacked up, and we'll see how the hood looks on there. Have to wrestle it on there. Yeah, it's going to look tough. Okay, I got that baby welded up, not fully. I'll show you what I got here. So I just kind of tacked it up good. I will weld it from behind and stuff, from back in here and stuff, but that's plenty good enough to get it on the car, see how it works. I want to make sure it works real well before in case I have to tweak it, in case I have, whatever, you know how it is. I have to take this hood off anyways later, so it's no big deal, and then I'll make sure that's welded up real solid. The way this car is, it's not really removable. I guess you could remove the whole thing, and I might do that. I might remove this whole entire thing. That's the only way to get those hinges off. But I might remove all that, and then I'll paint that up and stuff and make it look good. But for now, this is what we're gonna do: get this hood on this car. So the next time you guys, I'll be back with you in a couple minutes. It'll probably be more like, I don't know how long it takes. How long does it take to get the hood on? When you guys see this again, the hood will be on the car, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, everyone, got it on there. I'll show you guys that in a minute, but before I do that, it's going to take a little bit of shimmy and shaking, a little bit of stuff to make it fit nice, but it's fitting not terrible, actually. But oh my gosh, that's how this car's got a big old long schnauzer on it. But anyways, there you go. That looks good. So you can see, look how long that is. So I got to walk around stuff here, but yeah, buddy, that looks tough. Like I said, just a little bit of maneuvering and stuff just to make it fit a little nicer. I don't know how perfect you're going to make it fit anyways, but we'll get it a lot closer. Just with these fenders and just the way everything is, it's a rat rod, right? It's going to be an old cool hot rod to beat around on. Real cool. So that, yeah, that's a long nose. Anyways, and then I don't know if you guys know this either, but this is super cool. Nothing's hooked up yet, but this is that's the hood latch. It's also super cool. And once you get them headlights and that grill in and stuff, the front of this car is going to look real tough. So happy how it's turning out. The back fits great, where I was worried about the hinges and stuff. So I think when I do take it off, I'll weld that hinge up real good, and probably take that, like I said, that whole bracket out of there and clean it up and paint it, make it look good, and I'll clean the inside of the hood and stuff. But anyways, that fits real well, so I'm happy with that. That will work, and that's going to be plenty tough. That's all I got for this video. So please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.